Welcome, heroes, villains, and morally questionable weirdos to Canon Clash, specifically an episode of Canon Clash that almost got canceled, but didn't get canceled thanks to Jess. We had someone drop out of the show very briefly for something short notice like 20 minutes ago, and Jess saved my ass and the show's ass by coming in on super short notice, which I say right at the beginning of the episode because you might have to give me some leeway for tech issues in the first 10 to 15 minutes because I am almost certain that I forgot something in scrambling to get everything ready. But we won't worry about that till it happens. Let's start off, as we usually do, by introducing our fantastic guests, though I'll go around clockwise like I usually do, which means it goes to someone you all know, but I still make introduce himself every time. Guest host for the week, once again, Nikhil Clayton.
Hi, everyone. I'm still Nikhil. I'm on this almost as much as I'm on my own channel these days. I don't know. I have a TikTok account. You all know that. I also have a Twitch. Most of you know that.
And you should go follow both of them because he does a lot of good stuff and a lot of LEGO Marvel superheroes. I asked him to explain Krakoa as a bit on one of his Twitch streams, and he continued to do this in detail for the next 15 to 20 minutes. It was very funny. I want you to know, Nikhil, I was doing something else at the time, so I wasn't typing in chat. I did listen to the entire thing.
Thank God. I'm going to make a PowerPoint. This is going to be a thing we do. You got to come on, and I'll make it. I'll just teach you Krakoa.
I will 100% be part of this Krakoa lecture. I think that would be very fun. But let's move on from such a regular at this point to someone new on the channel, another person named Matt. Hello.
Oh, hi. Yeah, my name is Matt Stores. I also have social media, and it's at MT Stores on all of those. And I'm a comedian storyteller, and I'm just happy to be here, frankly. And also, I'd like an invite to the PowerPoint when it gets done. That sounds delightful.
All right, Nikhil, now you've got two people interested. That means you got to do
just
it.
Have a class.
We're holding, yeah.
It'll just be a weekly seminar. Everyone could come.
There's definitely puns, because the X-Men started in a school. There's jokes that you could make there. That could be a bit.
Oh, yeah. It's so many good bits. Just, oh, beautiful.
Now, Matt, I'm going to ask you a question that is a Canon Clash tradition at this point, something I ask every contestant at the beginning of the episode. Rate your comics knowledge on a scale from 1 to 10. Where do you think you're at?
You know, I would say maybe a 6. Probably a 6.
A 6, very solid.
Yeah,
that's pretty high for the average. I need to go through and watch all the old episodes and see like what the average is, because I think that'd be very funny. But that's not something I've done yet. But I know 6 is pretty good. 6 is pretty good. So we'll see if you hold up to that. And then let's move on to our second contestant, Geek Squire, or do you really? I don't know what you prefer me to call you. I didn't check beforehand because I was fixing everything. But tell us about yourself and what you do.
Hi, my name's Brian. I am the founder, head geek in charge of Geek Squire. I do TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Tumblr. I do content creating. Some of you may know me as the D&D guy that did a video that had me using AI. A lot of you might know me as the guy from Pandas doing Alfred Called the Guy. I'm the guy. Well, one of the guys. Yeah, I'm a giant nerd, D&D, cosplay, video games, cars, you name it. I'm probably obsessed with it to an unhealthy degree.
Sorry, I've gotten distracted here because apparently someone's telling me my audio is out of sync, which makes sense for the level of fixing that I had to do. But as I try to fix that, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Matt. Rate your current comics knowledge on a scale from 1 to 10.
I would say probably, if I'm going to be honest, like a 5.56. There's probably stuff I've forgotten over the years.
That's so specific. I feel like when they do the data analysis, that's going to throw off everything. It's going to be perfect.
I don't think I've ever gotten a 2 decimal places answer before. I've gotten decimal points, but only to tenths, not to hundredths. So congratulations on screwing up my data analysis and being the first one to do so. And as I continue to try and see what's up with my audio, we might just have to deal with it, but I'm going to keep trying to fix it for at least a couple more minutes. Jess, once again, the person who saved this episode of the show by coming on, and another person who has been on the channel many a time. Jess, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Jess. I was in my pajamas 20 minutes ago, and now I'm here. I'm Pirate Princess Jess on TikTok and something similar to that on Instagram. I had to change it a little bit because somebody else had my username already. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. I got candy corn. I got water.
Excellent. I'm gonna check. Okay, hold on. Is my audio? I'm gonna clap. Chat, you're gonna have to determine this because there's stream delay. Did that fix my audio by any chance? We'll go again. Is that good? I can try one more. Good? Ah, sweet. All right, cool. For some reason, it just went to the wrong camera system. Perfect. See? Look at that. There were problems, but we handled them, and that's really all that I can ask for at this point. Now, Jess, same question to you. Rate your current comics knowledge on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay, so for like a couple of periods of time, I think I have like really good comic knowledge, like almost 7 out of 10. But those are both like a period of 5 years, and then outside of that, I'm like maybe a 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10. So if anything lands in my like very specific years of I was reading comic books every single day, I'm gonna have it.
Out of curiosity, if you're willing to share, what years are those? Because I'm looking at my master doc of questions right now. Let's see. Not that I'm going to give you an answer.
It would have been when I was in high school. So it would have been 2009 to 2012.
I think there is at least one that I did. I don't know all the details on the questions that Nikhil prepared, but there is at least one or two from that era, I believe. So we'll see if that works out.
And then I recently started reading Krakoa stuff because Nikhil put up a very nice document for how to actually read it.
Oh, that's gonna come. That's gonna be much more helpful.
Yeah. I will. There might be one or two things that are helpful in this case. Nikhil always brings a lot of X-Men things, and that is, I think, a great segue into talking about the rules of the game, which most people probably know, but I will go over them for everybody just in case. I, or Nikhil, depending on who's asking the question, are going to present you with the name of a comics character and a little blurb of info about them, just like a couple sentences to a paragraph about what their whole deal is. I'm going to go ahead and warn you now, since I had so many scheduling things to do this week, I have a lot of stupid bits in my questions. This is a bits week in Canon Clash, but sometimes I'm allowed to have a bits week, and that's what this week is going to be. Now,
Absolutely.
Once we present you with this little blurb, your question, or task, I guess, is going to be whether to determine if this character is a real thing published by Marvel or DC. I know Nikhil usually brings Marvel things. I also usually bring Marvel things, but I think there might be some DC in here. Marvel or DC is the main two companies that we're working with here. Or if it's something that one of us just entirely made up to mess with everybody. Now, to help you with this task, there are 3 possible hints that you can get. Hint number 1 is a visual description of the character, what they look like, what their costume is, things like that. Hint number 2 is some publication information about the character, that taking the form of the series in which they debuted for the first time and the year that issue came out. The third hint, which is often like the safe choice, just generally most helpful, is a fun fact about the character, which most often takes the form of like an extra little blurb or sentence that kind of gets tacked on to the end of the main description. You get 1 of these hints for every question, and the way that it's going to work is you guys are going to vote on them. So since we have 3 contestants, best 2 out of 3 is the hint that you guys are going to get. You guys are going to vote in order of lowest points to highest points, which right now doesn't matter. It's just kind of a free-for-all. But once there's a point disparity, that's going to determine the order in which you vote. And if you guys are feeling mean or confident in your answer and don't want anyone else to get help, if there is a situation in which all 3 of you vote for different hints, nobody gets any hints. There's nothing. So you can try to maybe screw over people if you think you know the answer and don't want more information getting out. Let me consult my document here to make sure that I got all of the rules. I do believe that I got most of them. Just for note, Nikhil and I are going to be alternating questions. I'm going to start. And on that note of question order, they are randomized. So don't think you can play any mind games of like, oh, they wouldn't put this many reals or fakes in a row. Because I do roll a d20 and determine, that is how we determine what the question order is going to be. So with that, is everybody ready to go on to the first question? Now, technically, something that I said a second ago was a lie, because I did pick this one first intentionally. Because, again, it is a bit. I kind of came up with a bit for the description of this one, and I don't know if the bit is going to land. So, we're going to do it first, just in case it doesn't land. There are plenty of other opportunities to be funny for the remainder of the episode. So, I'm going to present this description to you in what I can really only describe as movie trailer form, and then I'm going to reveal the name at the end for you. So, let me put on my voice here. The year is 2099. Superheroes have been entirely outlawed, and all mutants are injected with power-suppressing chemicals at birth. However, this is all about a change when one teenage boy discovers his hidden abilities and finds a way to unlock his powers, becoming the only superpowered mutant in the entirety of the year 2099. His name is, Mutant 2099. The mutant from 2099... Mutant 2099. Yes, 2099 is part of the name, not the series title. The character's name is Mutant 2099, the mutant from 2099. What do you guys think about this one so far?
This is the most 90s thing I think I've ever heard.
God, I want it to be real so badly.
And you know, you guys know
nothing for me. That's perfect.
Perfect.
If it's not real, it should be.
See, that's my favorite thing to hear.
It sounds too crazy not to be real, but it's probably real.
That is the question. Now, the way these work, you guys are free to deliberate amongst yourselves for as long as you want. And then when it's, you feel confident enough, you guys can pick the hint that you want. We'll go with that, and then you can answer when you're ready. If the episode starts to run long, I will limit your deliberating time. But for now, whatever discussions you feel you want to have, you are welcome to it. And then when you guys have an idea of which hint you want, which I can give you a reminder at any time, let me know.
I would love to know publication info about this. I want to know when this came out and what it was.
All right.
Because I know Spider-Man 2099 was a thing, and I know Doctor Doom 2099.
Yes, 2099 is it's often revisited with varying degrees of success. I will say that. But then, does someone else want to confirm that hint, or Matt and Brian, do you guys want to team up and pick a different one?
Yeah, Brian, how are you feeling?
I kind of want to go a visual
Go
route.
visual route, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the publication, I feel like most of the 2099 stuff came out around the same period, and then maybe it jumped back and forth. I'm gonna go. I'm very sorry, Jess, but I also want the visual.
You also want the visuals, okay. Now, the visuals for this one, again, all of these hints, if they are a fake character, all of these hints could be entirely fabricated, but sometimes I throw in things that, might seem a little bit disjointed as a bit of a hint for you guys. Now, the best way I could describe Mutant 2099's costume is it's like a kind of silvery, teal blue, Spider-Man suit. It's very weirdly reminiscent of a Spider-Man suit, like a high-tech, almost kind of cyberpunky one, for a character that is not Spider-Man related.
Okay.
All right.
I think it's fake.
Well, we'll see. Oh, I also technically, Jess, did I tell you? I don't think I actually told Jess how we vote in this. Do you know the general bit, or do I need to? Okay. The way we vote in this, which this will actually, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out, is I have everybody at the same time basically hold up their answer. So generally, when I give somebody any amount of prep time for this show, I tell everyone to just bring anything as an answer indicator. Can be something that says real and something that says fake. A red thing and a green thing. It can. Someone brought lightsabers once. People sometimes print out their own. It can be just literally anything. And my bad
Wonderful.
for not letting you know about that. Did you also bring lightsabers?
That's great.
I have stuff within arm's reach.
Perfect. Yeah. No rush. Again, I should have probably told you beforehand.
We're going to do things within arm's reach. I also have dinosaurs I could use as my... I think I'm going to use dinosaurs.
Hey, I don't tell people what type of thing to bring fully on purpose because I think it's a very fun... At least it's a Canon Clash tradition that amuses me. I hope the audience likes it as well, of just seeing what random crap people bring for their answer indicators. But anyway, Jess, when you are ready, no rush again, if you guys are ready to vote, we can go ahead and do that. And I'll count you in.
Okay, I'm ready. I have pinball rings.
Visual system. Okay, cool. We just have the visual system so that not everybody's talking over each other. You get the idea. But if everybody is ready for Mutant 2099, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we have two real. Jess, is that your real or your fake?
That's my fake.
Okay, so we have two real and one fake.
This is fake.
Oh, Triceratops is fake. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
going real. Blue real, red fake.
Okay, blue real, red fake. So our things are blue, Triceratops. Okay, I'm getting the sense here. Regardless, after all that deliberation, most of you did get it wrong because Mutant 2099 is entirely real.
Oh wow!
He does look like Spider-Man. For reasons never described, not only does he look like Spider-Man, he has powers that are like Spider-Man's by pure coincidence, not related to Peter Parker at all. And he got his mutant powers back when he was given a sort of like mutant power restoration thing by the disembodied preserved brain of Reed Richards. This book was weird.
Okay.
I
love this show.
I would love to be in the writer's room when they came up with that. That just sounds delightful.
Okay, so
they probably had
only
fun.
one is Brian. Let me put you up there. Fantastic.
The chat is saying your audio might be unsynced, Matt.
My audio desynced? Why did my audio desync? I didn't change my camera. It might be because I was changing the score. Is it back now, chat? Because it might have lagged when I was changing some of the scores. We're gonna give chat a second to fix this, and as I'll. Someone said yes and someone said no at the same time, and I don't.
The yes was about that it was your audio.
Okay, well that's.
Atticus.
Let me check one thing. Actually, hold on. This is Nikhil's question next. So we're going to go to Nikhil's question so that he can do it while I'm fixing my audio. See? Quick thinking from the host, who probably should have thought of that earlier. Nikhil, are you ready for your next question? I'll put it up on the screen and then troubleshoot. Cool. Go for it.
So this is Gnaw, the blurb that I wrote down. Gnaw was a feral symbiote created by the Life Foundation that seems to work differently than the rest of his kind. Rather than permanently bond with a host, he slowly broke down their body and consumed their nutrients. As such, he had to find hosts at a much higher rate than other symbiotes, which led him into contact with Venom, who was blamed for his kills.
Are we allowed to ask for the spelling on that character? Oh, it's on screen.
It's on the screen. There are times in this show where the spelling has mattered, so I very quickly realized I should probably put it on the screen for every one of them.
This time I feel I might lean towards Jess in publication on this one.
Yeah, I'm also with publication on this. I think we're all in.
Everyone wants publication.
I think so too.
Publication was first appearance, Venom Lethal Protector, 1993.
Oh, I super didn't read that.
It's pretty good. I'd recommend.
I mean, I feel pretty strongly that I know the answer to this. So.
Yeah.
I do too, but I've been wrong in life a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I thus far have been very wrong.
Well, it's only one question.
You know.
There's no
but that's still batting zero. So.
Yeah, I think I know.
I'm going to cut into the deliberation really quick. Chat, did that fix it? I think for some reason it's just not saving my settings. But hopefully, if that's not good, we're just going to have to deal with it today. You're on again? All right, cool. Sorry to derail. Continue.
Ready to vote then? All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
So that is everybody saying fake then, I believe?
No, this is real. Purple is real.
That's real? Okay. Purple's real. All right.
Sorry.
So, no. That's my bad. I'm looking at so many different screens while I'm trying to get everything set up. I'll let Nikhil handle this.
It is fake. So, everyone's
It's fake. Is fake.
I have to say,
I was trying to give the benefit of the doubt, I guess.
For a name for a symbiote that has not been used for a symbiote was the hardest part of my day today. Every edgy word possible is already a symbiote.
Because that's all they are. It's just you pick an edgy name, and that's like riot, agony, scream, so lasher, toxin. It's just they're all one word, and they're all edgy.
The Venom pinball machine just came out, and when you play through it, you fight through a bunch of symbiotes as you're playing the game. And I swear, like, I chose real because I was like, I think this is on there, but they have so many edgy, like, single word names that I can't be sure. It's exactly what I was going through. Because that machine will just shout, riot!
Personal question. How much does a Venom pinball machine cost, and where can I acquire this?
So, it's published by Stern Pinball. Stern has 3 tiers when they make machines: the Pro, the Premium, and the LE. The premiums go for about $9,500. The pros, I think, are going for $8,000 right now, and then the LEs. I haven't actually looked at the prices of LEs in a while because they sell out instantly, and I can't afford them. But they're like $12,000. They're very expensive, but if you want to get one, wait a few years because pinball machines come down in price.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that everyone watching this right now should subscribe to my Twitch and tell your friends to subscribe to my Twitch so that I can get a Venom pinball machine.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Screw Panda Red's GoFundMe, which I didn't talk about at the beginning, but I'll talk about that in a bit.
But Panda, who has no car.
That's actually a great. We'll do that really quick now since I was running around. Didn't do that at the beginning. Panda Red does have a GoFundMe up as of today. He got into a car wreck, not his fault for the record, on the way to Rose City Comic Con. Everyone in the car is fine, no serious injuries, but his car is very damaged. So there is going to be a link to that. It might have already been put in. It has. Thank you, Amy. A link to that GoFundMe has been put in the chat if you want to go and help him.
Also, Jess, I really appreciate the very in-depth explanation of.
Yeah, that was incredibly I love it when I ask things as a bit largely, and then people give me genuine answers, and I learn something. It's excellent. No, that wasn't like I'm curious.
It was a great answer.
But also, I wasn't expecting to actually learn about pinball things.
Part of my job for a while was going to gaming conventions and like arcade expos and demoing pinball machines, basically being like, here, come play this game. I'll play it with you and show you how to play it. Let me show you what they cost so we can sell you these. So it like the spiel is ingrained in my psyche.
It's an excellent job to have.
It's so much fun. Because part of it is like, sometimes if no one's playing games, they'll just be like, hey, go make this pinball machine look really fun. And I'm like, okay, boss, I'll go play pinball for an hour. You got it, man. Taking one for the team.
Fantastic. All right, now that everyone in the audience knows a little bit more about pinball, are we ready to move on to question 3, which I think I didn't center properly in the middle of the slide, but oh well, no one will care. Our third question is Dr. Dreadmore. Superhero Daredevil is often referred to as the man without fear, and Dr. Dreadmore is one of the villains in his history who has tested that name. He is a sort of a mastermind illusion type villain, much like Mysterio. But the keyword there is illusions. His whole thing is that he shows people their deepest fears and all of that stuff to scare them, but he does this with visual illusions against Daredevil. And the weird thing is, this worked. It was never directly explained in the issue he appeared in how exactly his visual illusions were able to scare Daredevil, but it happened regardless. And while Daredevil was eventually able to take Dreadmore down, the nature of how exactly his technology worked was never revealed to the readers. What do we think about Dr. Dreadmore, the guy who scared Daredevil?
This just feels so much like Marvel just like forgetting they're writing a blind character.
Right.
And being just so great again with disabilities that I'm like so inclined to believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually do, by the way, have a full hint priority stack right now. So, Jess, you get to pick first, and then it will be Matt, and then Brian. But again, no rush.
Yeah.
Just when you're ready.
I think I want the extra bit of information. If you guys...
You want the extra bit of information?
Yeah.
All right, that one then go to Matt. What are you thinking for the extra bit of information?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. I think that this is one where we need that extra bit of information. I don't think any of the other ones are really going to help too much.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, hold on. Why am I going over to Brian? That was 2 out of 3. That is going to answer it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, I agree.
okay.
I've had to do so many scheduling things this weekend. It'll be a miracle if I can, get through this episode without accidentally saying I read one of the questions off the Wikipedia. Nikhil.
What the
For those who
fuck
don't
is
know,
that?
Nikhil did
What
that
is
the
your
last
shit?
time he guest hosted, and I am never, ever, ever going to let it down. Someone asked him for the fun fact, and he goes, "The wiki says."
Okay, here's the thing. I talk about comics for not a living, but for fun a lot, and I get
Yeah.
very excited. And I noticed a fun fact on a wiki that didn't make sense, and I wanted to preface that it was on the wiki because that was what made it funny. I didn't think about the fact that fictional characters wouldn't have wikis. That's not my fault.
Anyway, the fun fact for Dr. Dreadmore is that it was actually a big point of fact that his illusions were silent. Like, that was one of the ways people figured out they were illusions. Which also just adds to the whole what the hell was he doing against Daredevil thing. Once again, I wish I had more information for you, but I really just don't on how that one worked. When you guys are ready to vote, let me know. Again, no rush, but I got the system down now. Purple means real. Triceratops means
Did you
fake.
not have like a red dice at the middle of this game, at the beginning of this game?
Oh, I did drop it, and it did roll away, and it was easier to grab 2 different colored pinball rubbers. I don't know where that went. It belongs to the floor.
Oh, that's
Okay.
such a D&D thing of just, yeah, I did. I dropped it, and it's gone now.
I still have my blue dice here, but
All right, well, are you guys ready to vote, or do you want to deliberate a little bit more?
You know,
If
I
everyone's silent, I'm
don't.
going to make you vote.
I have my answer, and I am committed
Okay.
to it, and I hope that I'm right because otherwise, I have problems with Marvel.
All right,
Yeah.
let's find out then.
Oh, God.
3,
yeah.
2, 1, go! All right, so that is fake, real.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
No,
Wait,
real.
no. Hold, God,
I'm real.
God. Only Matt says fake. Brian says fake. Jess
I say
I'm
real.
having
Jess,
a
you might
mental
want to
breakdown.
get something
Brian
a little
says
different
real.
color.
Jess says real.
how about this?
and
Real.
Matt says fake.
Dice is real, pinball rubber is
I don't-
fake.
That will help me. Thank you, Jess. Anyway, he's fake.
He's fake.
Oh, thank
Oh,
God.
thank God. I
Oh,
was like,
thank God.
It's good that he's
Yes.
fake.
I'm like, this has to be fake. Just on principle, I have to pick
Yeah.
fake.
I this is one of those where I'm going to give a little bit of background into my thought process here, and then I'm going to move very quickly on to Nikhil's question so that I don't have to explain any more of this. This concept was very loosely based on an actual storyline that happened in which Mysterio goes up against Daredevil. But Mysterio does, instead of just like a classic, I'm going to show you your greatest fears, hero, he made Daredevil think that his girlfriend had AIDS. Nikhil, are you ready for your next question?
Oh, it's like a famous
That's some-
story too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, go!
Sorry. Ah,
Save us.
hold on. I gotta pull my thing up again. Is this?
You need to write letters to Marvel, is what I'm hearing. Oh my God.
Nighty Nightcrawler is the next one.
Such a vibe shift from that to
Nighty
Nighty
Nightcrawler was a human super fan of the X-Men. When he and his friends stumbled upon alien technology that allowed them to replicate certain superpowers, he decided to emulate his favorite hero. However, he drew attention when he was one of the few mutants who did not emigrate to Krakoa.
Very simple. I feel one that definitely got on the list because of the name, which is one of my favorite genres of Canon Clash questions of just, this character is fine, or the description we've made is fine, but the name... We can come up with some stupid names here.
It's so good.
Yeah.
If this is fake, this is the best fake hero name, I think.
This-
Look, it's so funny because there are so many... I mean, this isn't even my question, but there are so many Marvel characters with just awful names that it's so easy to just be like, that's dumb, write it down, and that's the question for a fake. It's
My
so
first,
good.
the immediate time I first guested on this, when Matt told me I could come on, I sent him a wiki to a character whose name was simply Axe, and I was like, can I do him? And the only thing that wiki is that he's a mutant and he has an axe. And I love
Yeah.
dumb. This is just a dumb names episode, I think.
Is that the titles?
Maybe. It might be something to do with that. Anyway, hint priority is now, Jess, you get to go first, and then the other two are tied up.
What does Nighty Nightcrawler look like? I want to know, and I really want it to be Nightcrawler with like a sneaky hat.
Or like,
Uh, Who's next? What is that? What we're doing?
yeah. Since we're tied, would you like to go, Brian?
I was gonna say since you got the point, but we can rock paper scissors for it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to do rock paper scissors with you.
Okay.
Fantastic.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
3, shoot.
Okay. This is gonna be great. This is
Continue.
gonna be great.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Fantastic. Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got there! Woo!
We got there. Yeah, I would like to see the visual description. I think that I think that'll be the most helpful overall.
All right, Geek Squire, you want to throw it or you go with that? All right. Then the costume description for Night Nightcrawler is it's a human boy, but he wears a suit made to make him look more like Nightcrawler. So he has gloves that have 2 fingers. He has boots that have 2 toes. He carries a backpack to hide his teleporter. He has a prosthetic tail. And he also weirdly has a helmet styled after Magneto's helmet that stops him from being able to have his mind read. So people don't know that he's lying.
I want to be clear on something. He is a human boy, but actively chooses to wear the
He loves Nightcrawler. He wants to be him. He's Nighty Nightcrawler.
Okay.
I've made my decision.
Nightcrawler fanboy.
All
right, Nikhil, your question,
3,
so you can call
2, 1, vote. Everyone's right. He's real.
Everybody's right, and I do have a picture. We do have a picture of his Nightcrawler cosplay.
Badly.
Though I do want to say, because we talked about the name so much, the fun fact I had for this character is that he used to be called Daycrawler, but changed it in his last appearance because he thought it was stupid. And he changed it to Nighty Nightcrawler.
He changed it. He thought it was stupid, and so he picked Nighty Nightcrawler.
Amazing.
Objectively a better name. I mean, I agree. I agree with it. It's a better name.
I just love the dedication to the gloves, I love the dedication, so I'm like, you know what? You got my vote. You got my vote, dog.
You know what? We love to see it. His costume. Oh, I guess a little fun fact about this one from me before we move on to my next question is I did have to text Nikhil and ask which Nighty Nightcrawler he meant because there are 2. There are 2 in the comics. There's this one, and then there is a baby version of Nightcrawler.
Stop.
Oh,
Stop.
the X-Baby.
Yeah, I will. I will stop.
What did Magneto do to that one?
I can't. I'm realizing so much that this is just Canon Clash, but the entire bit for every question is stupid names. Because from Nighty Nightcrawler, we are now going to go down to the next question, which is, I hope I formatted this one correctly. And if you're wondering what that means, well, it's because the name of this next character is Opal Luna Saturnine, Omniversal Majestrix of the Dimensional Development Court, which I believe I have correctly fit all of into the framing. Opal Luna Saturnine, Omniversal Magistrix of the Dimensional Development Court, is the ruler of God, I knew I was going to trip up on it. The Dimensional Development Court, which is an organization that basically ensures the safety of the omniverse and all realities and all multiverses, just everything everywhere. She was originally lower down in the organization and then got ranked up to being in charge of the whole thing, replacing Merlin as the leader. Yes, that Merlin. Opal, Luna, Saturnine,
Merlin,
Omniversal
Magistrix of the Dimensional Development.
I'm sorry, Nikhil, you're right. Yeah. I'm not going to say the name again, unless I have to for some other reason. What are you guys thinking about Opal Luna Saturnine,
I think I
Omniversal
chose the
Magistrix of the
wrong
Dimensional Development Court.
username. I should have been Pirate Omniversal Magistrix of the Dimensional Development Court, Jess.
I've been wanting to do a bit like this for a while, where it's just small text, long name. And I like how the question is probably now, did I just make that bit for myself, or did I dig and find one?
I love the idea of you workshopping all of these names in your head. If you're creating this character, you're just like, okay, there's got to be 6 titles. What do we got here?
Well, what's a Magistrix? I don't know. Throw it in there
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, what is
Anyway, Jess, you still have hint priority.
God, I want to know what series she's from.
Series, all right.
Publication info.
Yeah, Brian, why don't you go first this time?
I am 100% actually behind Jess on this one. I
Series?
would like, yeah.
All right. The series is called Marvel Superheroes from 1981. In such a beautiful contrast to the obscenely complex name, the series is called Marvel Superheroes.
I want to point out, I did not know.
I'm so glad you guys picked
I did not
that
know
one.
any character Matt was bringing into this, and this is.
No, I didn't. Nikhil has to tell me because I make the slides. But ideally, I think it's funnier if neither of us know. I have to make the slides, so I know his, but he doesn't know mine. You guys ready to vote
mean,
on Opal
yeah.
Saturnine?
Sure.
Omniversal
Sure.
Magistrix of the Dimensional Development Court? All right.
Sure.
3, 2, 1, go! Okay, that is everybody saying real then, yes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
What?
Yep. Why are you
Hell
surprised?
yeah.
You got it right!
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she's entirely real. The series that she debuted in, like, that bit of her having such a long name and debuting in Marvel Super... It sounds like a bit that would be written for this show. It's entirely real. For what it's worth, it was a comic in the UK. This is a British comic.
That makes
And I think that it's because, like, Marvel in the UK also does, like, Doctor Who and some other properties.
Yeah,
Or at
it's
least
like
they
a.
did at the time. I don't know if they still did.
anthology, and every story's like 6 pages. It's wild.
Is that picture from the 80s?
No. She actually matters a lot in recent comics.
Jess,
Oh.
if
She
you're
matters in the
working
Krakoa
through
era.
my Krakoan reading order. She is the main, like, one of the main antagonists of X of Swords.
Yeah,
Okay.
you will see her eventually, Jess. She's crazy. I love her.
I'm like almost 2 X of Swords. That's gonna be great.
I'm glad you weren't there when I wrote this question down.
Gotta read through the Marauders.
All right, Nikhil, you ready for your next one?
Yes.
I don't even remember what it is.
All right.
So,
Okay, I got it.
oh right,
That's a good sign.
Right. Amino fetus.
it really is the name
It
episode.
really is. A
It's
lot
the
of these are
name
name-based.
episode.
Amino fetus was a
Oh
mutant
my
from
god.
Morocco. He is essentially a fetus and needs to consume matter in order to continue his life cycle transformation. Unfortunately, doing so would lead to the complete destruction of reality. Thus, all he wants to do ever is eat, but he can never eat.
Everyone's in stunned silence, which I think is probably accurate. That's probably for the best.
Oh man.
I love how much Chad is just losing it over the name. This is pure coincidence. Nikhil and I did not coordinate to bring you the Wild Names episode, but here we
I'm
are.
so glad we're here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just barely scraped your way
Jess,
in.
I'm
Jess,
so happy you're here for it.
Thank you. This could not have been a better episode for this. Oh god. Amino fetus. Alright, you said it was from Morocco, so it's probably recent X-Men, so we don't need to know the publication information. Oh god, like what? Blurb?
I too would love to hear the blurb. I don't have Nikhil send me his descriptions or his hints, so those are fully. I know the name, and if they're real, I see the picture. But the blurbs are total mysteries to me.
The fun facts
Yeah.
is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
fun
just read the
facts.
Yeah, I think that fun facts makes the most sense because, the visual, I don't think is going to give us too much. Yeah, and publication history does sound like it would be probably more recent. So yeah, I'd say fun facts is probably the best route.
All right, fun fact. Was fed one time and had to be chucked into a black hole at the edge of the universe immediately.
What did they
Had to be done.
What did he eat?
I don't have that information readily available.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For no follow-up questions, you can ask them, but we don't guarantee that we have to
Okay.
answer. I can't speak to what Nikhil does, but I have all my blurbs typed up in
Yeah,
a
me too.
document, so I don't have like the wiki pages for every real character or a bunch of random answers for fake ones in front of me. So
Reasonable.
feel free to ask follow-ups, but we probably won't answer.
Very reasonable. Very reasonable.
All right, I know my answer. Oh my god.
I have my answer, and I'm hoping my answer is the right one.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, real, fake, fake. So if he's real, then just catches up a little bit.
And he
Come
is
back,
real.
Ark.
Wow.
And he is real. And I'm gonna show you guys a picture, and I'm going to give a content warning before I show the
And this
picture.
is how you're-
I'm
I
not.
was
That's
so
not a
hoping you
bit.
guys asked for costume.
That's not a bit. I am. If you do not like gore and body horror, this is a genuine content warning for this guy.
This is how we
And
get the Twitch
here
fans.
he is.
Yes. So this picture is when he first ate. And it's revealed that the way he would destroy the world is he's basically going to eat so much, he's going to turn into a bunch of little gremlins, and they will just eat reality.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
We'll get this off your
Ick.
screens as fast as possible.
Icky.
Wow.
Icky is a good way to describe
Icky.
it, Matt. Yes. Icky.
Ooh. Ew.
Some things just don't need to be in comics.
And you know what,
They
Brian?
all are.
Here's the thing. If they weren't, I couldn't do this show.
That's
So
That's a great counterpoint right there. That's,
someone always brings up that kind of thing in every episode. And so if you look back, I almost guarantee you in every episode of the show, I say some variation of like, but if things were good, I couldn't do this. That line comes up in like it's a recurring gag. Anyway, are we ready for my next question?
Sure.
I actually have a mini question before we get to my next question, which is not for points, but pop quiz. Do people remember the name of the last one that I did? The last my question.
The one with the long name?
The one with the long
the
name.
whole
Does
name.
anyone remember? Does anyone remember it?
No.
Opal, Luna, no, nothing.
That was very
Tragedy.
close. That was very close. Yes, it is Opal, Luna, Saturnine, Omniversal Magistrix of the Dimensional Development Corps, which
yeah.
thus then ties into this question, because this next one is Opal Lun Saturnine. Please consult the spelling on this one because it is essentially a pronunciation guide to the name of the last character. Opal Lun Saturnine is basically just a version of the one from before, but from a universe where everybody is evil and everybody's name is spelled wrong. That is pretty much the best way I can describe this one to you. From Opal Luna Saturnine to Opal Lun Saturnine. How are we feeling about this?
That's the whole blurb.
So
That's the whole blurb.
Is
The concept pretty much presents itself here.
Wow.
Is this a real character, or the way I wrote it down in my notes to remember how to pronounce the name?
if we ask for publication info, are we gonna get like Marvel superheroes from 1983 or something? Like,
You can ask for publication info and find out.
hmm.
Someone in chat says that name sounds familiar. Yeah. That's the
From
big...
Yeah.
a few seconds ago.
That's
Yeah,
the
like-
joke.
Congrats on
3
not
minutes
having a
ago.
profession.
Oh my god, this is my favorite kind of question.
Look, I think we've actually mostly done all the just stupid name ones. I think we're mostly done with those. But this really was just there's a few more, but this was just front loaded with bad name questions.
I have, from just looking over the sheet, at least.
I think my dumb name. Well, there's one that's kind of dumb, but most of my dumb names are done. Anyway, Jess, which hint are you wanting for Opal Lund Satyr 9?
I want a description. And I think because I remember what she looked like in the last one, that's like a...
Okay. All right. Other guys, you are both tied, so you guys don't have priority.
Brian, would you like to go?
Confirm description or something else?
You know what? Visual. I would.
Visuals? Okay.
I like how we're always syncing up with what we want for the hint. I just,
Yeah,
it's a nice
that's pretty common. That's pretty common on this show.
We're both on one
Yeah.
brain cell. We're both on that.
Like,
I think it's a running thing with the contestants on Canon Clash that everyone comes into the show expecting a competition and very quickly realizes that in many ways the show is me versus you.
yeah.
And so, yeah. Anyway, to answer your question, the best way I can describe this woman is that she looks exactly like the last one, but if she was a fascist.
Oh my god. Okay.
Got my answer. Cool.
I said evil.
Are you telling me the last one was
You guys-
fascist?
Yeah.
You guys ready?
The cut
You
of that jumper did seem very fascist.
You guys ready to vote?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm seeing real and then fake and then real, and Opal Lund Satyr 9 is real.
Oh my god.
She's
Oh
just,
my god.
Is real.
she's just Saturn
I was
as a
taking-
Nazi. That's literally.
Literally just that. That is,
Oh, wow.
she's Saturnine but a Nazi. When I say that's exactly what she is.
I never
Okay,
noticed they
that-
cut off the A though from Luna. What's the purpose of that?
No, it's just Opal with a U, Lun Satyr 9. I don't know, dude. Everyone's name in this universe is like this. Like her I don't know what their relationship is, but like one of her allies is named Captain Britain, but Captain with a K, and then it's like Briton. It's just they're fascists and their names are spelled wrong, and that's the whole bit of the universe.
Love it.
What?
Not love it. Hate it. but
Are
it does exist.
they're like 0% robots? They're not robots or anything with those names?
I don't think so. No, I would have to go through and double
I
check,
love the use
but I'm
0%
fairly certain
robots.
no.
Like no, actually, they're 13% robotic.
The cyborgs are a thing. But yeah,
Ah.
Shot in the dark, and I can't believe I got that right. That was a complete shot in the dark.
I've been wanting to use that pairing of questions because I was feeling like I have to do the real one and then the misspelled one because I know that's going to be funny for somebody.
That's amazing. Honestly,
Uh,
amazing.
So good.
Nikhil, are you
I'm
ready for your next question? All right, we're pretty much we're taking a break from funny names now. I think there you go.
I thought this was a stupid name.
It's not a funny name though. Stupid is a different thing.
Photosmith was an artist turned soldier from the planet Sarka. He and his race had the natural ability to warp and shape light, which he originally used for sculpture. However, when he called to fight the Universal Church of Truth, he became skilled at crafting weapons made of pure light, which he used to hunt down Adam Warlock.
Universal Church of Truth.
The universe, the one. They
What a
nailed it.
name.
They nailed it.
What a name.
Adam Warlock is the guy from Guardians 3.
Facts.
Right?
That is true, though I will say that is a very, very, very different character,
Yeah.
like lore-wise.
100% the same character. Accurate adaptation.
Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
Let's not be brash.
That was the one. I like that line. That line was good.
yeah.
I love that he killed that fucking guy. That's my favorite thing about Guardians. When he just like burned that man to the crisp. It was like, I did it.
And this is a dude who has light weapons related to Adam Warlock. So was this spawned out of Nikhil's liking of that scene?
See, you're
See,
putting
I love having
putting
guest
down.
hosts because now I get to do stuff. Now I get to psychoanalyze.
Yeah, you
Hmm.
put.
Even though I already know
Matt
the
knows
answer.
all the answers. Matt's
Oh,
having
yeah.
fun.
Look, the whole concept of this show is gaslighting my friends. So I might as well just do that more.
Yeah. Yeah, just lean into it. Lean into the
Yeah.
gaslighting. I think that's the healthiest move.
That could be an episode title. Canon Clash Season 2, Episode 3, Lean into the Gaslight.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a candidate. That's a candidate.
Great.
I assume later we're going to be gate kept and girl bossed, right?
I think Saturnine counts as girl boss.
Hmm.
So let's see if not the fascist one, the first one. Okay, we could also
Nazis
call
aren't
episode 3
girl
"Fascists Are Not Girl Bosses."
That's good for the SEO.
That's a great point. Maybe not that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
who? Oh, actually, there's a tie for.
There is a tie. Yes, it is Jess and Brian, and then wait.
No, you
Have I
have
been doing
you have
the-
me and Brian.
I've been mixing. I've been mixing. Hold on. Let me fix that. Let me fix that.
While Matt's fixing that, I've had first guess on like the last 4, so I think you can take it.
Yeah. So I'd say I would want to know when it was the publication.
Okay. How does this game work? Doesn't everyone have to vote?
Yeah.
I'm also
You're the host for this half of the show.
I'm
Go.
always so
Engage the
confused when I
audience,
get to this
Nikhil.
part,
Come
'cause
on.
Everyone kind of reaches a consensus, and I never know what the point priority refers to.
Well, I guess I'm just a better host of this show.
At your own
Oh,
show.
the insighting.
freaking
Takes a
hope
swig
so,
from an
Matthew.
empty bottle.
Otherwise, every week I'm not here is gonna be a mess.
You know what? Fair point.
Brian or Jess, do you have a preference, or does publication sound good?
I'm gonna agree with you. Publication. That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Gonna have to start speeding you guys up. We're not even halfway through.
First appearance,
Sorry.
Captain Marvel, 1976.
Okay.
Powers track with Captain Marvel.
Mm.
And so,
Damn, that actually kind of changes my
yeah,
answer.
see,
I
because
think.
I was thinking, like, okay, this is a joke off of like Photoshop and like changing the lighting, and if it is that far back, though, I feel like it could be real.
I refuse to believe anything in space in Marvel existed before Annihilation. So
Okay.
There was no Marvel costume.
Now it's gonna change all again because gods, but that's a tangent for another time.
So that'll be good.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready to vote? Like I said,
yeah.
we got a lot more questions to go. So,
Yeah.
3,
Nikhil, you can count them in.
2, 1, vote.
I'm seeing real, fake.
And it's fake.
Oh wow!
Oh, thank
Fake.
God.
I knew it.
Jess, you are pulling into a tied lead
I will
there.
say the power is real. It belongs to this child named Larry Bodine.
Actually,
Okay.
And then
Okay.
Larry Bodine commits suicide in the only issue he appears in. Which is sad because I like the power.
oh,
Very
Whoa.
wow. Okay.
Hey, so next question.
Yeah,
Hold
man,
on.
come on.
I'm sorry,
So we
I'm-
don't have to talk about it.
trying to manage so many things. That was hold on. You know what, chat? If I got the score wrong, chat'll be on it. Chat's usually on
Yeah.
it. I'll let chat
Yeah.
handle it.
Jess caught up. It's 4-5-5.
Yeah.
Oh, 4-5. Okay.
Mhm.
Points to you. I gave you an extra point. So good job for having integrity.
Aw.
Good. That was a test. And you passed. Good job.
It's the reason I am a Hufflepuff.
All right. Are we ready to go on to the next question? That's a trick question. We are, because we got to keep going. The next one is Heartbreak, there we go. Heartbreak. Heartbreak is a sort of mastermind type villain. He does not have any powers to speak of. However, he has incredibly high intelligence and is a master at orchestrating various plans to meet his nefarious ends. The thing is, his only nefarious end is that he likes breaking up happy couples. That is his one goal as a villain. It is the only thing he cares about. And in fact, it was actually very briefly implied that he is responsible for multiple of the many times that Peter Parker and MJ have broken up and then gotten back together.
I know my answer.
Yep.
You can skip that entirely if you would like, if everyone's that confident. But that is actually Matt. It is.
Yeah,
it is your...
I don't need.
All right.
I'm sold. I know my answer.
Heartbreak's biggest fan right here.
That sounds like an album title. Dear Lord.
Heartbreak Space fan.
I would actually buy that.
Yeah, that's a great album title. Trademark.
Get that.
Trademark.
I'll follow the paperwork right now.
All right. Well, I mean, do you guys also feel confident, or do you guys want if?
Yeah. Look what
Wait,
Figure it out.
is Heartbreak Paul? Stop. You stop in the chat right now. You stop it. You stop right now.
It's heartbreak. Oh boy, is Heartbreak Paul is a bit that only a very select group of my audience watching later is gonna get, but if you don't get it, it's funny. Just trust me, it's funny. You guys want a hint or
No,
everyone's
yeah.
quiet, so I think, is everybody confident? All right. In that case, 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody says real. You guys should have taken the hint. I made that one up.
Oh wow!
I
See,
made
it
that
should
one
be
up.
real though. It should be real.
You said something
It's-
broke Peter and MJ up, and that's the most realistic thing that could happen in Marvel.
Oh, they break up and get back together all the time. And I was like, it'd be funny if there was a cohesive reason every time. And so I lied about it.
It would make a very good like Forget Me Not style reveal of just like half those times
It-
where all heartbreak. You just didn't know.
It would be good. The fun fact, which is not real, it's just another line I made up, but I think it's a funny enough bit that I want to add it in, is the fun fact would have been that one time he said that he briefly considered messing with Tony Stark, but Tony did all of his work for him.
See, if I would have guessed real with that.
Yeah,
Like,
I actually think that was a good hint, maybe a little too believable. And also, Luna in chat, Mephisto is kind of the role of that, but we're not going to dig deep into how Satan messed with Peter Parker's love life. That's a debate for another time.
Not Satan,
Nikhil.
a legally distinct entity that happens to be from a fire dimension and came to Earth and
Okay.
noticed that we'd already come up with Satan and then just committed to it.
Legally distinct Satan, because Marvel's not going to touch that. But regardless,
Should.
Nikhil, are you
Yeah,
ready
I'm
for the
ready.
next one? All right, go for it.
I'm gonna keep make sure I have the right order. Dummy, just call it Dummy.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're back to names.
I never stopped. Was a young child at the Xavier's Institute whose mutant power turned him into sentient gas. He lived inside a containment suit that made him appear human. During Kid Omega's riot at Xavier's, the suit was pierced. He is presumably alive, but has not been seen since.
So who's made of gas, and the suit, does he just dissipate?
He leaked out of the suit.
Oh no.
So could you
That's all I
accidentally
have to say.
breathe?
Oh no.
God. Oh my god.
I
a lot of
don't want to
questions.
do the show anymore.
I don't, that.
What?
Wait, if his power is just gas, why is his name Dummy?
Guys, you're asking too many questions.
Goodness.
The name's
I'll
just more
shut
of a
up on the other
descriptor of
host. I
him than his powers. That's fine.
Yeah. So if we get the description, is it the description of him as a gas or in the suit?
I think that's Nikhil's
It's
call.
in the suit. I don't know.
Okay, because like that would. I kind of okay. Besides publication history and description, what was the third one?
It's just
Fun fact.
random fun fact, like additional bit of info on the
I think I want random fun fact.
All right. Everyone else, you good with that?
Yeah.
All right. The fun fact is, characters have mentioned being able to smell Dummy in the halls, but it's possible those were fart jokes.
That's one of those fun facts that really could go either way, bud. Which is the point, so good job.
Wow. Sorry, I feel like I let us down a bad path. That's a fun fact.
I love this show.
There was an Avengers Academy character that was
Vale.
yeah,
I know who you're talking
that was
about,
so
yes.
similar to this and didn't
Same powers at the very least.
yeah, but she didn't have to live in a
Similar.
suit. There was the
I believe, I remember reading, I've read Avengers Academy, it's pretty good. I believe she could turn back and forth, and from the implication, I don't think Dummy can, from what Nikhil has said.
yeah. But then there was another Avengers Academy character that had to live inside of a suit because she was like hazardous.
Hazmat. So is this just
Yeah,
an amalgamation of the two? Jess's line of thinking here is excellent. I see the logic.
I mean, Avengers Academy is like them trying really hard to do X-Men without doing X-Men. And I feel like X-Men is Nikhil's thing.
That way, but yeah.
And so maybe Nikhil read this?
I'm locked in.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody ready?
I don't feel super confident about this, but I can.
Everybody as ready as you're going to
3,
be?
Yeah.
2, 1, vote.
I'm gonna say real though.
Okay. Real
He's
fake.
real.
Jess, I was so worried because your line of thinking was so genuinely good. And I was
You
like, this
convinced me. You convinced me. I'm like, that makes sense.
Also,
it has to be
it's
fake.
To answer the
logic,
earlier question,
but
I
is it
believe
could
he's
be
called
wrong.
Dummy because I don't think he could talk, and I think they just called him Dummy, and then that just became his name. This child has a
that's
terrible
fun.
life.
That's unfortunate.
The only reason I was like, this has to be real. How many X-Men usually just have god awful powers
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, this sounds horrible. It has to be real.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. What series was this in? And I actually don't
This is
remember.
a new X-Men.
Mikhail.
He's part of the loser class.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, someone says third character on the show who's made of gas. Yeah,
And
it's
what?
it's a wealth of stupid bits. Speaking of stupid bits, we are now going to go into the new gimmick that I've been doing on every episode of Canon Clash Season 2 because I don't know if anybody else finds it fun, but I find it fun, which I'm calling the Crossover Challenge. So this one's going to work a little bit differently. This is the one I was telling you guys earlier to have the Twitch channel up if you can, because this is going to be a visual question. If you do not have the Twitch channel up, that's fine. Just let me know so I can send you the visual prompts directly. Now, the way this is going to work is I am going to show you a real comic book cover. This one is real, no ambiguity there. It is a real cover actually produced by Marvel, and this cover is featuring a notable figure from the real world. This is a real world figure on the cover of this comic. They have been edited out, and in this case, the title of the comic has been blurred and warped by me beyond recognition. I'm going to show you the cover. And then your task is you're going to be to try and guess who this figure is on this cover. Now, this is a little bit harder, so I do give 2 points for getting it correctly because it is more open-ended. And the way we're going to do the answers is like type them all in the Skype chat and then hit enter so that, you know, again, we don't have everybody talking over each other. So type it in the Skype chat and then hit enter when I am, if that works for everybody. If not, we'll figure another method.
I'm on mobile.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. The easier way to do that is if 2 people can do it in the Skype chat and 1 person can't, you can just say it out loud because the only goal is that we just don't have people talking over each other. So, is everybody ready to see the cover in question? All right. It is now, well, it will be in a second because of stream delay. It is now on your screens. Who is this notable real-world figure that has been removed from the cover of this comic? You can get some context clues, maybe from the shape of the image, the things around. I will give you some time to deliberate here. It's a very odd silhouette. The silhouettes the other times I've done this have been fairly cut and dry. This one is a little bit different. So that's why I haven't also given it a lot of hints, is because I think context clues are maybe a little bit better in this case. But yeah, I will give you guys a few seconds to decide, though again, this is the halfway point, so we're going to have to go quick. The worst case, I can cut a question from the end or near the end or something.
So we're typing in who we think it is?
Yes,
Okay.
type in who you think it is. I mean, you can go ahead and hit enter if you want, or we can do it all at the same. I'm not really picky about how this works.
Oh, jeez.
How do
I
I
have
spell that
no
name?
idea.
All right, we have our first answer. I will wait to say them to the audience once we. Once Brian has his, I'll say the 2, and then Jess, we'll figure it out. All right. So Matt has said Patty Lupone. Brian has said Elton John, which I love. I think that's a very good guess. Jess, who do you think this notable real-world figure is?
Oh man, I'm still.
Matt, if they go in order, they don't have to say it at the same time. Why can't they just say it?
Because I don't have that strict rules for this show. Who cares?
So my gut reaction, which I know is wrong, when I saw this was Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
And
Do you want to go with your gut reaction, Jess?
I've got nothing else. My brain. is
Okay,
only
so
saying
we
Jesus.
have Patty LuPone, Elton John, and Jesus, and the answer is Jesus!
It is Jesus. Okay, great.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
What?
From a real Marvel, supposedly 616 canon book called The Easter Story.
Wow.
It is Jesus. Congratulations, Jess. You will note that I was very specific in my wording of saying notable real-world figure, so that I didn't touch on any was Jesus a real person debate, because I didn't want to get into that, but he is undeniably a notable real-world figure. And the answer was Jesus. So congratulations, Jess, for answering that very tough open-ended question. You are pulling 2 points into the lead.
What's
My
funny
mom
about
is so
that?
disappointed in me right now.
What's funny about that is I had it the other way where he was standing towards the people with his arms out, and he was just like really thin because proportions are hard.
I will say, had I gotten it right, the scores would now be 666, which I think would have been fantastic.
That would have been good, and it harkens back to the bit that we accidentally did a second ago where I said Satan and Nikhil said no. And if you noticed, I looked into the camera audience and I said, yeah, Marvel wouldn't get into that, because I fully knew what was going to happen 3 or 4 questions down the line. Yeah. I love the visual questions, man. They're always so incredibly stupid. For those who don't know, past features on this bit have been Kevin Feige and Eminem, so it can really just be absolutely anyone. And I will continue doing these because they're great.
I think I own a Spider-Man Jay Leno crossover that, like, I thought.
Well, shut up about it because I might use it in the future.
I mean, who knows?
All right.
Spider-Man and a washed-up comedian. Who could it be?
There's a new one every week.
All right. Nikhil, are you ready for the next
Yes.
one? We're back to weird names yet again. I don't think we ever really left.
No, I had a solid bit. All right, Naglfar. Naglfar is a sentient ship originally constructed by Loki, built entirely out of toenails of dead people. It was stolen by frost giants, who crashed it into the World Tree, scattering its remnants across the universe, where it was forged into numerous different sentient weapons that cursed their wielders.
The
Their toenail.
Toenails
Yes.
across space into
Now, I think a big determining factor here is when Nikhil sent me his list and explained to me that there was a toenail boat that he made up. Do you think I would have let him on the show if that was the case? That is the question.
That is the central question.
Yeah.
That is the central question: is would I allow this awful thing that he made?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you would.
Yeah. You know what? Just correct. Right answer. Right. Real or fake? I would totally allow this. I did.
Oh boy.
Someone pick visuals.
Yeah, I mean that.
No.
Yeah, can we get a highly detailed description of this? Like minute detail. I would love that. No, I prefer publication history if I'm gonna be completely honest.
All right. Yes.
I think Geek Squire goes
Geek
next, right?
Yes. Yeah. It is.
Yep,
Matt
yep,
Geekswire.
publication.
Jess.
Public.
We got.
No one wants to proceed with this question. I
Yeah.
get it.
All right. So first appearance of this is Thor, 1985.
Oh, it's the 80s. Oh, it's the 80s. No.
Hey, question: if it's a thing that's actually in Norse mythology, would you answer first appearance in Marvel, or would you have
first
been a
appearance in
smart aleck
Right.
about it and been like, okay?
And I will also say, being a thing outside of the Marvel Universe does not mean anything for if it is real or fake. I have lied about real things in the Marvel Universe before on this show, so don't take that as a hint.
God, I want this to be fake so bad.
I think we all do. But also, does that means you're friends with someone who made this up? Or had this thought?
Yeah, that.
I think
what's
about
worse?
dead people's toenails all the time. Don't let that impact
Clip
you.
it.
Is that
Clip it.
the new?
But it is
Clip it.
factor?
Post it on TikTok everywhere. Make it go viral.
That's does your man think about the Roman Empire or dead people's toenails.
Dude, I've never thought
Yeah.
about the Roman Empire, but I do think about
Okay.
dead people's toenails.
Nikhil,
sad
do you
part-
want to make them vote, or do you want to keep digging your hole
Sorry,
in
yes.
with every word you say?
3, 2, 1, vote.
If it's real, I get a point. If it's not real, I'm free from
It is real.
suffering.
Oh my god!
Oh!
Point. That's a point.
It is also a real thing in Norse mythology.
It is a real
Also,
thing in Norse
someone
mythology.
was mean
yeah, so
and said that it had to be real because I wouldn't look up Norse stuff for this. For the record, I looked at a lot of Norse things to see if they were adapted just for this show today.
yeah, I don't know. That is really weird that someone would be like, I don't think you researched North and South. That's very well within the ridiculous confines of this. That's very believable for this bullshit.
I spend so much time on these. It's honestly ridiculous.
Yeah, Nikhil puts probably more effort into his than I do into mine. Also, speaking of mine and Nikhil talking about this, I think because there's enough comedic value here, I did put a little snippet of mine and Nikhil's actual text conversation earlier today. When I was making
like
the
20 minutes before
slides.
this started, saying, "Is Naglfar ... the toenail boat?"
Oh.
I was there's a little bit of Canon Clash behind the scenes there of my genuine reaction to learning this absolutely horrible piece of information. Let's move on, shall we? I think we all want to. All right, so my next question is a little bit different in that it is not a character, it is an organization named the Solomon Institute, or more detailed, the Solomon Institute for the Criminally Insane. While posing as a sort of prison and insane asylum, the Solomon Institute is actually a school and training facility for bad guys. Now, I know what a lot of people in the audience are thinking. Matt, that's not that weird. A school for supervillains is a very believable thing within the Marvel Universe. Let me correct an error in thinking that I'm sure a lot of you just went through. Not a school for supervillains. It's a school for henchmen. This is a place where people go to learn, like, basic martial arts skills and then go on to become, like, Hydra goons and stuff like that. What do we think about the Solomon Institute for the Criminally Insane? Nikhil, the rules of this show are literally just whatever I want them to be.
I got so many places. Oh.
You just opened up a can of worms.
I did. Anyway, hint priority is Matt, Brian, Jess.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say, since it's a place, I don't particularly know how helpful a visual would be, but you are welcome to choose that if you would like.
Also, for the record, good thing you guys didn't pick visual, because all I had for Naglfar was it's a white boat.
Okay, I would say publication.
Publication? All right, then, Brian.
I'm gonna double down on publication.
Cool, that locks it down then. The Solomon Institute for the Criminally Insane first appeared in Avengers in the year 1980.
Yep, I am my answer.
All right, if everybody's ready, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, real, fake. And Jess's point streak is unfortunately done. The Solomon Institute is real. I didn't really have any good pictures of it, but here's a picture of a dude yelling at some guys in henchman training, I guess. But yeah, it's run by Taskmaster because he was like, I can get paid more training other people to do this than I can doing the jobs myself.
Fun fact. He talks about that just a little bit in Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, it's in one of the things.
In the game.
He talks about it in the game, really?
It's a very quick, very brief. I think it's like one of the files you find, and it's very, very brief.
Well, there you go. The niche knowledge came in clutch there. I did not know that was a thing when I picked this, so good job. I just saw the bit for like school for henchmen. I was like, hell yeah, that's great. Good for them. I mean, again, Hydra, so once again, we return to the notion that fascists are not girl bosses, but, you know. Nikhil, are you ready for your next one as police cars go by my house? There have been 3 car chases by my house in the past month, by the way, so now I'm worried whenever police go by, but that's a problem for me. Nikhil, go ahead.
Which one's up first? Oh, yes. Ariadne.
I sent you the list. What do you mean?
I don't trust that I put these correctly. Ariadne the Amputator. Ariadne is a mutant from Morocco that originally sat on the Seat of Loss before being defeated. and killed. His mutant ability saw that every time he lost a limb, it would grow back stronger but less human-looking and was harder to consciously control. There was seemingly no limit to how many times he could amputate his limbs or how strong they could become.
That is, speaking again as someone who has not heard the blurb, such a wildly edgy 90s concept. Incredibly, that just slots right in there.
But if it's a Rocco, it's 2020s, right? Like
I said concept slots in. I don't know what it could be.
I will point out the other
I will say,
Arako,
real or fake. I don't know the date. I don't look these up.
List
They're
is
real.
Amino Fetus, and he was true. That gives you a sense of the Arako people.
It's a neat power, but it's very much what it is.
I am surprised he's not amputating other people's.
Right.
Like Vlad the Impaler didn't impale himself. Very.
I mean, maybe that was his mistake. I mean, had he
impaled himself, he would have
had he impaled himself, he really would have, unlocked those vampire powers. Yeah, oh man, I think the fun fact.
Fun fact?
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards publication to see if this is recent.
All right, Jess, then that falls to you.
If it's a Rocco, it's recent X-Men, so I think I'm going to say fun fact, because the answer is going to be like 2021 X-Men, X of insert adjective.
Insert noun, thank you.
Sorry, my bad. X of nouns.
All right, fun fact. It has been implied that what is actually happening might not be so much growing new limbs as slowly becoming a different creature entirely.
That lines up with
why it's
Arako
for him
thematics.
At every time.
That lines up with Arako thematics. I really need to catch up on those. They seem so awful in a way that I enjoy. What are you? How many? Hold on. Let me check how many questions we have left.
I think I'm ready.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more questions. Okay, I don't think that's too many. We can get through this.
Got it.
We got it.
Yeah.
All right, if you guys are ready.
Where's the ever gonna be?
All right. 3, 2, 1, vote.
Fake, real.
It is fake.
All right.
It is.
It is fake. Yes, you still have your lead, but you are now only leading by 1 point.
It is entirely based on, there's a character who's not edgy at all, but his name is Anole, and he's like a little green lizard boy, and he's an X-Man. And they cut off his arm one time, and it grew back like stronger and better, and it's like a monster arm. And I've always thought about that, and I've been curious what happens if he kept cutting off other limbs or that same arm again. And then I made that a character, and it was too edgy, so I put him on Arako.
I did.
Honestly, I would actually love to see that character, like the progression of that.
Dare I say, I would be willing to bet money that I made that character and he was too edgy, so I put him on Arako, is the genuine, actual origin of at least one real character.
This is the only character I've ever brought to the show that I do wish existed. Like, I would like this concept, because I want it to happen to Anole.
It's interesting. It's a good... I was trying not to react to, like, too much, but, I saw the name of this when you sent it to me, and I was like, what is this? And then you read the blurb, and I was like, that's actually kind of neat. That's an interesting idea.
Right? It's good.
Mm-hmm. And
You've got me sold. I want this character too.
Come on, Marvel. I say this every episode, but hit me up. I can write bad things, but on your payroll. And weirdly, this kind of like strange body horror vibe kind of carries into my next one as well, though the name might not immediately show it. It is String Bean. String Bean is a much older character, part of a class that used to be a lot more popular of like very happy, wholesome, kind of silly child superheroes. String Bean's power was essentially just that he was like a really good contortionist. His body was unnaturally long and lanky, and while he did not have explicit stretching powers like Mr. Fantastic or characters like that, he could just bend and twist in a lot of interesting and often unsettling ways. While I think it was probably intended to be like fun and cartoony, it turned out to often just be gross as hell, which is why String Bean was brought back decades later as just a straight-up body horror character.
I have no idea what Matt's were, but that's either Matt making a demonic version of Gumby or a Marvel writer making a demonic version of Gumby. And I have no idea which one it could be.
Good. That's where I want everybody.
I don't think this is Marvel.
I would like to point out that technically DC is an option in the. We don't do it as often, but DC characters can be on this show for what that is worth.
That strikes me. If we get the publication history, do we get the original publication and then when they were brought back?
The publication hint is just when they were originally created,
just the original.
When I made up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See, DC has brought back children's characters in like horrific ways before.
Right.
Right. I'm so scarred from reading Young Justice and Teen Titans in like the mid 2000s. And so this is a DC thing. I'd believe it.
Yeah.
Watch Matt just be like, no, it was Marvel. It was mentioned DC for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, you guys. From the deliberation, I'm assuming you guys are picking publication. Is that what the consensus seems to be landing on?
I would prefer Fun Fact, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had that whole debate about whether it was Marvel or DC mattering, and they're like, but I don't need to know, because you'll still get the original series title. Yeah, it's just not the comeback.
Yeah, okay. I do think publication probably would be the most helpful then.
All right. And then, Brian, you technically have second, but Jess, I think that was what you were going to go for as well. So, all right. Unfortunately, I did kind of mislead you on whether it was going to be helpful. It's going to depend on how much you know your old comics. All American Comics in 1943.
That doesn't even give off which fucking company it was.
All American Comics, 1943.
Okay.
I got my answer.
All right.
I got my answer.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm seeing fake, real, and Brian is the only one that gets it, which does tie Brian with Jess at this point, though it is still a
only
game.
That character was in the Flash.
Oh, the Ragdoll. Yeah,
yes.
It's a weirder version of Ragdoll. Yes, though I do want to note, for what it's worth, All American Comics is a real DC publication from the 1940s.
That's why I said real. You got me with that.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yes!
I was maybe a little too mean with that hint because it was maybe a bit too believable. But this is one of the ones that I made later in the day when I was running out of ideas. So anyway, but yeah, now there are 5 questions left. So with a 799, it is still fully anyone's game right now. We are going to move on quickly because we got plenty of time. But let's still move on. Nikhil, here's your next one.
All right. Is it Granitor? Granitor was a high-ranking official on Stonus, an alien planet populated by living gargoyles. He grew bored of his planet and decided to pop over to Earth for some light conquering. When the heroes pushed him back, he attempted to teleport back to his planet, but an unrelated living statue destroyed the controls, and he was instantly disintegrated.
Did you say the planet name was
Stonus?
So incredibly believable for older eras of just, he's made of stone. Just make it Stonus. It is much like the very real fact that the home planet of the Skrulls is called Skrullos.
Earlier today, I had the alien from Sarka, and that is also a real name of the home for the Sarkans.
All right. Don't need to complicate it.
We live on Humos, so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh man,
Actually, our planet we call our planet Earth. I don't know how much we're able to throw stones at. Anyway.
At first I really thought it was just an actually to Jess, as if you didn't get that it was a joke.
Yeah.
Like, actually, it's called Earth, Jess.
No.
There's the
gatekeep. No.
We got the
there's the gate. All right, yeah, there's the gatekeep.
No, that makes so much more sense.
No, that was not my intent.
You're good. I know.
I think a fun fact would be helpful here.
Mm-hmm.
Is what the fun fact?
Yes.
I wrote down 2 because I couldn't pick which one I wanted. One of the heroes that fought him off was Fing Fang Foom.
As a hero? Okay.
I love Fing Fang Foom so much. I'm so happy to hear this. Okay.
Okay.
I will say, whether this is real or not, or I guess really only if this is real, I will be trying to find this comic and read it, because I would like to see Fin Fang Foom fight a gargoyle alien.
Yeah. Okay, I've got my answer. Hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2,
All right.
1.
Felon's ready. Everybody
Yeah,
says
it's
real.
real.
And
Yeah,
everyone gets a
I
point.
knew the fun fact.
Please do
I knew the
direct
fun
your...
fact was gonna give it away because it's too specific, but it's also too funny for me not to say. Which is why I wrote the second one down, and I was like, no, I gotta just. The world needs.
Go with your heart.
Please do direct your eyes to the screen as well, because I love how he's a gargoyle that's kind of just wearing like a leotard with a crown on it that is part of...
Yeah,
seems to be
he's got,
part
like,
of
a
his
graphic,
stone body.
Which I love. He's wearing like a graphic
Yeah.
tank top with a crown on it.
And like a Speedo, but that's part of his body. I
It's just
guess.
made like that.
It's an excellent design. I don't even remember what my next one is. What is my next? Oh, here we go. This is another one where I do have to reveal the name at the end for comedic effect, I believe. So in that case, we'll go right down into it. Now, this character is one related to a very prominent figure in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now, that being Kang. Whether you've seen the movies or not, Kang is a figure who has a lot of time travel nonsense surrounding him, lots of different iterations of himself throughout realities and different timelines and things. And an important one of those is Immortus, who is essentially an older version of Kang. In fact, one of, if not the oldest versions of Kang. I think technically second oldest. Immortus is real. This is not part of the question. Immortus, the second oldest version of Kang, is a bit more mature, a bit more serious in his plans, and as an older version of this mastermind time-traveling conqueror, he is a very big threat, whose thematics are somewhat diminished by the presence of a character named Kid Immortus, which I guess is just Kang. But no, Kang has a different version of his explicitly older self, which is a younger version named Kid Immortus. Not following? Yeah, that makes sense, because it doesn't make sense within its own concept.
No, it's perfect sense.
What are you guys thinking about Kid Immortus? My blurb is such a mess of, like, different names of Kang. I butchered half of it, but you got the idea. And I think butchering half of it is thematic for whatever Kid Immortus is.
I love this.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not real, it should be. Let's see. I would want the the fun fact.
Extra fun fact?
I want to know what he looks like.
Ooh,
Want to know what he looks like? All right. In that case, Brian, you get to pick. You get to pick visual fun fact or nothing.
You know what? I have a D20.
All right. How are you going
1
to
through
split that up
10.
into 3? Okay.
1 through 10, fun fact. 11 through 20, visual.
All right. Fair and balanced. Wait, was that a red D20? Is that where Jess is?
that's where it
found
went. That's where it went.
You can have it.
I got a 4.
I don't remember which one you
Fun
said
fact.
was which.
Fun fact.
Fun fact, Jess is going to be very happy that you picked fun fact, because Jess did mention Annihilation earlier, and I would like to point out that the primary villain that Kid Immortus fights, yes it is a villain, is Teen Annihilus.
Cool.
Okay.
Kid Immortus versus Teen Annihilus.
So Annihilus has got a bit of an age advantage on him.
Yeah, I guess. You guys ready to
I want
vote?
it to be real so
Yeah.
badly. Yeah.
All right, 3, 2,
I'm
1,
gonna go with my
go.
heart.
Real. He's real.
Hell yeah.
I unfortunately did not prepare a picture of Teen Annihilus. I actually don't even know what he looks like, but you can Google that
It's
on
just
your own
Annihilus
time.
with like a bad
Kid
haircut.
Immortus.
That's it.
Is this from a Doctor Doom comic?
This is from a Fantastic Four comic, so it's possible that Doom was involved. I have not read it. This is Iron Lad, which is the younger version of Kang, he gets sad and he's like, I don't want to become a villain when I'm older, so I'm gonna take on my older self's villain persona,
Well,
and somehow that's
Immortus
gonna
is
fix
not,
things.
like, truly a villain. Like, he doesn't want to be Kang.
He's both. He helps the Avengers and he fights the Avengers. He does both.
The
It's
worst
really
thing
weird.
is, from the
He
look
has
of
no
this, he
consistent
dressed
alignment.
exactly like Kang, which I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's basic. It reads like if Vision did a Kang Halloween costume. If you guys had picked visuals, I would have said that.
Okay.
If Vision picked because yeah, the design is not particularly remarkable. He was another one that got on here because the name Kid Immortus just stuck out to me when I was looking through some options. All right, we are down to our final 3 questions. Well, though still, once again, it is anybody's game. We could have a total upset here. Nikhil, are you ready for your next one? Go for it.
Vindaloo is a mutant with the power to secrete liquid from his pores that ignites upon contact with the atmosphere. Despite working as a goon for various villain groups, starting as one of Magneto's acolytes, he seems to be generally terrible at his job, and his most notable moment includes getting accidentally knocked out by his own teammates.
Now, I am not 100% certain of this. Vindaloo's
It is
a
a food.
food,
It is
right?
an Indian
Yeah.
Okay.
dish.
I was like, that's... And is it
It is a spicy dish. Explosive.
So this feels a little racist.
It does. Well, actually, I would argue
just
a lot racist.
Or it's all bullshit.
Which
And
Well,
you're
I'm
racist.
Indian.
I don't know. It's Marvel and it's the X-Men, so like
That is really funny. It's just is Nikhil the one who's allowed to make these jokes the one who made the joke, or are we gonna have to cancel somebody?
Oh man.
And our letter to Marvel is gonna hit a lot of
It
points.
is. And at the end, it's going to be like, well, please let us write for you anyway.
Yeah, please let us write for you. We won't have.
We won't do this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think publication history would make the most sense here.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Publication history first appears in Uncanny X-Men in 1996.
Late 90s.
That's a time period where Marvel
How
was pretty
racist
racist.
do we think the late 90s? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sucks too because I hate to say this, but this is unfortunately true. You can especially for like comics from the last century, you can kind of tell what era they're from by who they're racist to. What are you guys thinking?
All right.
I'm very curious to see the answers for this one.
I'm conflicted on my
3,
answer.
2, 1, vote. That 2 fakes and a real, or is
All right.
All
2 fakes and a real, I believe, yes.
Isn't it all fakes?
Oh, wait, no,
all
all
fake, all
fakes.
fake.
All fakes.
Great,
All
'cause he's
fakes. You guys have so
What?
much faith in Marvel that you probably shouldn't have.
Oh my God! If it was 1995 or before, I would absolutely say that it was real. But I'm like 1996. They had to turn a corner.
Honestly, this character was so hard because I knew he existed, and I went and read all of the comics he appears in, and he never does anything relevant at all. He's just in the background, and he literally only matters one time when he gets knocked out with someone.
And okay, what is vindaloo? Like the
it's
food?
a curry.
I know it's spicy and it's an Indian dish, but like, what is the type of food
Curry.
that it is? Curry. Okay. I mean, yeah.
My issue is
like,
the website, like the wiki, says that he's secreting liquid napalm. I see no reason to think that he's not secreting vindaloo. That's
yeah. I was
that's
about
what
to say it's like
I
it's.
immediately assumed he was.
This is
And
just
I'm
That's
not
what I
Bakugo.
would also
anything.
assume it is. Yeah, it's racist Bakugo.
This is just Bakugo.
It's just like having the like Indian character be like a spicy and naming him Vindaloo's bad, making his power
The
literally
heroic
that.
Indian character around this time is named Thunderbird because the 2 indigenous American characters were named Thunderbird, and he's Thunderbird, the 3rd one, and he's Indian because they were just like, yeah.
Wait, so he's like
Yes.
Asian Indian and still
And he
named
took the name Thunderbird, and he wears the same kind of outfit. with like the.
I did not know that. Oh my god.
You know, we love comic books.
Oh my god.
So
I've tried to
much.
stay there. Okay, if we're look, Nikhil, I've tried to stay away from racist characters on this show, but boy, if we want to open that can of worms.
Oh boy.
Well,
Whew, now that we're all sad, let's move on to a fun one. This is a team, and they're called the Rock Stars. So the Rock Stars are led by a real character. I will go ahead and tell you that this character is entirely real. Her name is Darla Deering. She is a pop star. She is the girlfriend, or was the girlfriend, of Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and she briefly got tech that gave her the powers of the Thing, like a big rock suit that she could form around herself. And at one point, she expanded these powers to her entire band, and they created a group called the Rock Stars, which were a bunch of musicians that all could form different color-coded Thing armor suits around themselves.
This is so good.
Were there different types of rocks, or just?
I mean, I can tell you it's all the Thing.
It's
I don't
just
know
the
the
Thing.
composition
Okay.
of the... Yeah, it's all
People
the
really
Thing.
take the composition of his rock for
There might have
granted.
been, like, slight to the, you know...
Way to go! Way to go!
Shows can't... We had a character called Granitor earlier, and you're making this joke now?
I thought that after that topic was over, and I was sitting there in my disappointment, so I saw my chance.
And we gave you a second chance.
somehow it's
Okay,
gonna
you know
come
what?
back
That's
up.
fair.
It's gonna kill. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Just gotta wait.
Let's put that one in your back pocket.
Schoolhouse Rock gotta catch
I knew
up.
it was gonna
Yeah.
come back around.
You just gotta have
What?
faith. You gotta have faith. You know.
Funny enough, Matt, if you get both these next ones right, and both Brian and Jess get them both wrong, everyone ties, which has
Oh.
happened on the show before. We have had a three-way tie. On episode 2 of this show was a three-way tie. But Matt, you do have hint priority.
Yeah. So I'd say probably fun fact.
Fun fact?
Yeah.
All right. Then other two.
Fun fact sounds fun.
All right. Fun fact. They did at one point briefly try to play a show in the suits and had to get new instruments afterwards because the Thing can't play guitar very well.
Okay.
I need that as a wallpaper.
All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Is he real?
All right. Everybody says real. This is one of, unfortunately, my best works.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm very proud of it. I think it's a good one, but yeah, this one's all me. Original character do not steal. Again, Darla Deering is real. Darla is real. Her name is Miss Thing because of course it is. And I didn't pull up a picture of her. I probably, you know what? Screw it. We got time. I am gonna pull up a picture of her because it's great, and I think you guys will appreciate it. And then you'll kind of see the vision as to why I made this one, because it was purely based on just the concept of this character and the way that she looks. Let's see. I will take my slides. Go down there. There we go. I've just pasted her design in the stream for everybody to see. This, again,
Isn't she
totally
just
real.
like in a costume, like a Party City costume?
Yeah, she has this thing called she has the Thing rings, which she slams together and it makes a Thing suit. They were originally developed for the Thing himself when he lost his powers, and then they were passed on to Darla, and now she just has like pink hair pop star head popping out of a Thing
Why would
body.
go
Great.
all the way?
That's
Also,
a great question that I do
is
not
the
ask Reed
Speedo
Richards.
part of the suit that gets created, or does she put that on
Yes.
after?
Gotta like
It
pull
is
up.
part of this. Ask Reed Richards these questions, not
He
me.
doesn't have a glaring reason
All right.
there.
Yeah. Okay, now let's see. This is going to be a very interesting question because this is the final question. Are we going to have a tie or Brian and Jess? You guys are tied right now, so let's see how this shakes out. Nikhil, your final question.
All
There you
right.
go.
Hit Human. Hit Human is a variant of Hit Monkey from Earth 8311, home of Spider-Ham. His grizzled and realistic nature is in sharp contrast to the rest of the cartoony characters. He is also seemingly the only human on Earth 8311, and as such, his very existence is regularly questioned.
God, if this isn't real, I'm gonna
If
be
Spider-Man's a
sad.
pig, is Hitmonkey a guy? This is my favorite question that Nikhil has ever brought to Canon Clash. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I love this one because it is unfathomable as to whether this is so believable either way. It's so good.
I hate it so much because it seems so
It
real.
does.
This is another one that I did intentionally put at the end instead of randomizer because like this has to be the last one. This one's so good.
It's a great final question. Yeah, I would say fun fact on this one would probably be helpful.
Okay.
I think I agree.
Everybody agree?
Because I just want to know everything I can about Hit Human, whether he's real or not. Perfect.
All right, Geek Squire. All good?
I mean, statistically, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
so
it's too.
I did the same thing earlier, so I can't make fun of you for that one.
So the fun fact is, I mean, it's Spider-Ham World, but he's done contract work for villains such as King Pig and Mandarin Tail, because I liked the names.
It's such a good one. Now I'm very curious. I'm so like whoever gets it right or wrong. I'm very curious if Brian and Jess are going to say the same thing here.
Right.
Oh,
This is going to be very interesting.
I want it to be real, but I'm so
I
conflicted.
also really want it to be real, and I'm gonna vote with my heart.
You're going to vote with your heart? All right. You voted with your heart last time with the rock stars, and it didn't pan out for you. So you want to double down?
I mean,
You gotta follow your heart and not the heartbreak. It's really
yeah. Heartbreaker's not getting between me and my hit human.
All right.
All right. Everything right on this?
3, 2, 1, vote.
Okay, real, fake, and in a very funny, ironic twist, the only one who gets it right is Matt.
of course. Yeah.
Here's
And
that.
therefore, we
the
do
greatest-
end on a tie.
Best character concept I've ever heard.
It's fantastic. When Nikhil sent me the list, I immediately knew what it was, and I was like, Nikhil, hell yes. It's just so good. I'm amazed.
I
it's
was
not
also.
real. It
I
feels
looked
like
for.
it
I
should
looked
be.
for what it was in Spider-Ham for so long, and I was thinking, "There's no way no one's done this," and then they hadn't.
Yeah, and it's a genius idea that they 100% should do, and now Marvel has to pay us because we came up with it first. I think that's how that works, right? We have the legal resources to stand up to Disney.
Yeah. We could definitely do it.
And anyway, that is going to be our final question of the day. Extremely close scores and pretty high scores for the show too, with Matt at 10 and then just barely ahead by literally 1 point, tied at 11. We have Brian and Jess. So thank you all so much for coming on. Again, not to show favoritism, but a special thanks to Jess for coming on with about 15 minutes of advance notice before the show started, which I do think
And look at that.
deserves
Look,
some
11
extra
points.
thanks. Yes,
No
and then
notice.
Jess got my Jesus question,
Yeah.
which is like an achievement in and
It's
of
the
itself.
Jesus arms. No one but Jesus does this.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, Randy Orton. I mean, it's more
Yeah,
than
it's
this.
true. Randy Orton does do it.
I want to make a lot of references that nobody's going to get, so I'm going to restrain myself. Anyway, as we did at the beginning, I will give you guys a chance to go around and plug your socials one more time if you would like. So,
Hi.
Nikhil, I'm going
still
to make you
here.
do it every time.
I have my own Twitch channel. It's my name. I have a TikTok channel. It's also my name. I'll be here probably on Monday. Updates to come.
Yep. You're usually welcome. No, I mean, you're pretty much always welcome. Matt,
Yeah.
over to you.
Yeah, Matt Stores at MT Stores on all socials, and this has been an absolute delight. I have loved this.
I'm so glad you have fun. Thank you so much for coming on. Brian.
Hi, Geek Squire on all socials. You can find me on Twitch tomorrow, actually playing Baldur's Gate 3 and crying and dying a lot. And not shameless plug, go support Panda Red. I've already donated some money on
Yes.
his GoFundMe. So go help him out. Cool dude, amazing dude, deserves all the love. This has been amazing. I was very excited. So yeah, can't wait to come back and maybe do other stuff with y'all. This is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And again, thank you to you for coming on. And then finally, Jess.
Hi, yes, I'm Jess, Pirate Princess Jess on TikTok, Pirate Princess Jessica on Instagram. And if I ever get back to using Twitch again, I will plug it. If you liked the granite joke, that's the quality of humor you'll get if you follow me. And
that should get you at least a couple followers from this audience.
And Matt, is it cool to plug the thing that you just messed up?
Yeah, go ahead. We haven't set a date for it yet, but if you want to 100%, we'll set the date
so
later.
later on in the season for Canon Clash, I grew up reading the maybe not so great Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comics, and then as an adult continued reading them into the IDW reboot, and I'm going to host an episode of this with entirely Sonic the Hedgehog characters.
Of course.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Wait,
that's gonna be a great
Matt,
episode.
can I be a guest? Fuck yes.
Hell yeah.
Everybody will.
If we can make the scheduling work, hell yeah. You know, for people who have watched season 1, if you haven't, I'll talk about where you can see it in a second. We did like some special episodes at the end of the season. I believe we might do an episode where I'm quizzing like my friends, like some of my non-content creator friends who want to come on the show, and then likely the season finale or week right before it is going to be the Sonic episode that Jess is going to come on and host,
Heck yeah.
which is going to be very fun, and we'll figure out the logistics and date for that later. But it is definitely going to happen. Now, real quick, some other announcements for this channel. Nothing huge. Actually, we'll talk about Panda's thing first, and then we'll do some quick announcements for my channel. I'll make this brief because I mentioned it at the beginning. But as Brian mentioned a second ago, Panda Red was in a car wreck yesterday on the way to Rose City Comic Con. He is fine. Everyone in the car is fine. Someone else hit them, but there were no serious health issues. However, his car is very, very damaged, and so today he did start a GoFundMe to help with that. A link for that has just been put in chat. If you guys want to check that out and help him out, it would be very much appreciated. Speaking of Panda Red, if you would like to see him DM a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, that campaign is ending this upcoming week. It is ending a week from yesterday, which is the 29th. It will be on this channel Friday, September 29th, 6 p.m. Central Time. It is all on the DnDorks YouTube channel, if you would like to check that out before the finale airs, so you can watch the finale live. It is also on podcasting platforms and all that stuff, so a link to the DnDorks channel we can put in chat. Ton of content there if you haven't seen the D&D show that we run. Lots of fun stuff. Outlaws of the Seven is the campaign that Panda's DMing that, again, finishes next week. Then for DnDorks, we are going to have a break week between seasons on October 6th. There will not be anything there. But then, something I'm very excited about, Friday the 13th, by pure happy coincidence, we are beginning our 3-episode Halloween special miniseries, DM'd by me. I am returning to the DM seat. It is a superhero horror campaign called Agents of Hades. It is a world of my own design. I'm very, very, very excited about it. It is going to be fantastic. I have some concept art for it that I'm not going to show you yet, but just as a little bit of a teaser, there's lots of fun stuff. It's going to be a little bit higher production value, and I am very, very excited for you all to see it. Again, that will be Friday the 13th of October, which coincidence that I'm very happy with. As for other channel announcements, I have a personal YouTube, where you can watch VODs of all my other things. All previous episodes of Canon Clash are on there as well, and I update this with other things that I do as they upload. I also do other stuff on the channel. Nikhil is often here, so if you like Nikhil, you can see him on his channel and also on my channel.
The current word on the street is the strikes are almost done, so I'll be here a lot less. But as long as I'm...
Hey, it's probably good for you to have a job, and you'll be on the Sonic episode. We'll make the Sonic episode of Canon Clash. Nikhil will be back. You guys know Nikhil will be back eventually. But anyway, that is going to be the end of Canon Clash Season 2, Episode 3. Thank you all so much for watching. Thanks one more time to the contestants for coming on, and I will see you guys for many new shows, or finales of shows, and then new shows later in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend.